before today and kind of get briefed and put some sound bites, not to speak, but to just kind of to commit to memory of what are some of the takeaways in your hard work. I'm going to start, since we're into kind of formal part, and repeat what I said before. Above everything, above all, thank you collectively, our chairs, our members, for being a part of this team, being a part of the city, being a part of what is the foundation in many ways, there'll be parts of the foundation for what develops in the future with leadership from City Hall, but with your continued partnership and leadership. I've heard expressed, but I've also heard echoed privately how people, many of you, want to continue in some way, form, or shape on the work and the hours that this report represents, and I want to do that for selfish reasons. One is the feel of having community involvement, community leadership makes all the difference in the world in really melding perspectives, hopefully developing consensus or some semblance of clear thinking of where most people feel from wherever their vantage point is, we should at least begin to attack some of the challenges, and then hopefully collectively make at least incremental positive change, but hopefully dramatic if we're really good at it, which I think we will be. Dramatic positive change, and we will do that as a result of the change that was made by the people in the city of Bridgeport some months ago, and now your work over the past few months, starting from nothing, just a group of us, making phone calls saying, hey, would you mind? Would you consider? Would you be willing? And then your work from there. Well, I got trapped with the squirrels for a few weeks. You were getting really some of the hard work done that we couldn't really get our arms around, trying to just kind of slug through some of the day-to-day stuff. So I took a bunch of notes, and I'm going to try and just talk about a couple things. Where Rena started, reminded me, and whatever that saying is, where you just the opposite of taking one step forward and two steps back. If you really want to, the real saying, said in different ways by so many different situations, is if you really want to know where you're trying to go, or where you want to do, or what you want to be, or where you're trying to get to, what your goal is, you got to take a little bit of look back and see either where you came from, or what you're really all about, or what your roots are, your foundation is, and where you've been. And so as she said that, I thought of that a little bit, and in particular to this world, this city of Bridgeport world, this city government, this new administration. I look back and remember that we had a plan, we had a transition team that did a good job then. And many of the things that we did, I know some of the names. Raul pulled the old list out for me, and we chuckled a little bit at some of the names, but there's people here, if I asked you to raise your hands, that were on that transition committee, or became involved as a result of maybe some of the recommendations. The city government or partnered with us through your organizations. But the thing that we also did with that early in that administration was we did set a vision, and it was somehow captured, and I'd love to find it. It was Bridgeport 2020. And the funny thing is, we're going to probably be here for Bridgeport 2020 in some form or another, or close to it. And at that time, that was like something way off in the distance. And if you set these long-term goals and challenges, and if you try each, whatever it is, day, month, or year, to kind of stay somewhere along that course, that if the goals and the foundation that you set was anywhere near right or clear in thinking, that you're going to leave the place better than you found it. So we're 2016. We could stay with 2020, I guess, if we're going to set a course. Absolutely. Which isn't bad, and we should probably also think of 2040 in there if you want to just throw out numbers. And Glenn's nodding. You think we're both going to be here in 2040? I don't know about you. But this is the type of thinking that we have this. We're here. That we got to kind of get our arms around. Some of it is the modernization of the building department and getting away from typewriters, which is crazy, and making it easier for developers to find this to be not just a user-friendly place, but an attractive place and an easy place to do business. not just because we love the development, but we love the results of it. We love to make our city better. We like to physically transform it, create jobs and tax-based growth. So, you know, we get that. So that's why, you know, the recommendation's in there, and we need to do that. Some of the things we did, kind of another perspective or time frame, a little more recent, was for 8 or 9 months or whatever that period of time was when we had this battle going on in the public eye about, you know, what the direction should be for the city of Bridgeport, who should lead the city, what vision or what group or approach should be the future of the city for this 4 years. You know, we pointed out in that, which is appropriate, the challenges, the shortfallings, the need for more attention, for more focus, for better delivery of services, the fact that taxes are too high, the fact that we felt that we were all too vulnerable to in the areas of public safety. And so now we accept that challenge. We understand what we talked about, and part of our commitment, which is contained in here too, was full liquidation of the police department, full funding in public areas of public safety, transparency, open government, trying to make that an element, not just for accountability and integrity and ethics and honesty, but also for connecting the public, our citizens, and the world with what we're doing and why we're doing it. So those become elements of things we're going to do. 311 and 9, you know, improving 911 and maybe putting in 311 if it's exactly 311 or the concept of 311 for better constituency services, and developing the infrastructure within the building and in the neighborhoods that deal with those needs. So I want to continue this process as well, as I accept the report and your hard work and say thank you again. I don't know what the form should be, whether it should be a collective, and you know, thinking as I talk, which is one's usually ahead of the other, which is a dangerous process. But what the form should be? Should it be a collective? Should it be the subcommittees that we have? Should we either retain or create some type of structure that allows, you know, the multiple hats that people wear in their professional lives, so to speak, and the overlay with their commitment to their civic commitment, specifically through this transition team, to continue and to aid. So I think what I'd like to say is, if we do that, and I want to do it, and I hear that we collectively want to do it, it should be in helping to implement the recommendations of the reports and to put together the blueprint that we all collectively buy into, that is 2020 again and 2040, so that we've laid out what will be some of the long-term challenges and goals and give us that kind of that rough roadmap. I took a whole bunch more notes, but I think I'm going to stop there. Let's say this, you know, where's that? The TQM, the Labor Management Cooperative, we started again already. TQM does need to start again on just so many fronts, so that we have within city government that involvement, that cross-pollination or ideas that emanate into some of the best that people can offer and recognize the challenges and how things can come together. And so I'll stop. Hopefully we can have a feeling of the word is meaning to your time and your energy, your brain power, not just in the product of a report, but in us continuously tugging on your shoulders in whatever form it takes to be a part of implementing it. So I'm going to stop and say thank you, and then if there's questions by anyone, please ask them of me or any members of the table. Thank you.